They say love is blind, but sometimes it's not blind. It's just in deep, deep denial. You're not dating a person, you're dating a possibility, a version of him that only exists in your head. The good guy you know is in there somewhere, under the broken communication, the hot and cold behavior, the unhealed trauma he has no intention of addressing. You say, but I see the good in him. Actually, no. You're not crazy. You do see something in him. What you see is potential. What you see is the version of him you hope shows up, not the one who's actually standing right in front of you. You're not in love with who he is. You're in love with what he could be. If he finally followed through, if he finally grew up, if he finally loved you back in a way that felt like care and not convenience. You say, but I see the good in him. Okay, sure, but does he see it? Does he do anything with it? Or does he just let you do the heavy lifting while he enjoys the benefits of being seen as a better man than he's actually choosing to be? Let's talk about it, because this isn't a story about what could be, it's a story about what is. And this version of him, the one with patterns, not promises, that's the one you're actually dating. So let's break it down. In this video, we're walking through why empaths fall for potential, how to recognize the fantasy you've built, and what it actually means to see the good in someone without abandoning the good in yourself. Because seeing the good in someone isn't the problem. Settling for only that is. And if this one's hitting close to home, I actually made a digital workbook just for you. It's full of gentle prompts and reality checks to help you untangle the fantasy from the facts, to remind you what you actually deserve. If you're ready to stop falling for potential and start choosing you, the link's in the description. So why do empaths fall for potential? If you're an empath, you're probably not in love with who he is, you're in love with who he could be. In that version, he's kind, he's emotionally available, he listens, apologizes, plans dates, probably even remembers your dog's birthday. He's just not real. But you're not dumb. You see the red flags. You just keep squinting until they look a different color. Because somewhere in your gut, you know he's not showing up. But somewhere in your heart, you're convinced that if you just hang in there long enough, he will. That's what empaths do. We don't run from broken things. We try to fix them. We feel someone's sadness and call it softness. We mistake their avoidance for vulnerability. Their apologies for accountability, their good moments for who they really are, even if those moments are rare. We fall in love with potential, and potential is addicting. It keeps you waiting, investing, hoping, even when there's nothing actually changing. But I swear, deep down he's really sweet. So deep down you need a shovel? No, I just mean he has a good heart. Okay, but where's the rest of him? Loving someone's potential isn't stupid. It means you saw the light in someone that maybe even they couldn't see. But love isn't supposed to be a project. It's not your job to build someone into who they promised they'd become. You deserve a relationship that exists in the present, not one that's constantly stuck in the maybe someday. So how do you recognize the fantasy you've built? Let's talk about the movie in your head. The one where he finally sees your worth, where he knocks on your door in the rain with flowers and says, "I was wrong. I've changed. Let's start over." Rom-coms trained us for this, but you're not in the Notebook. You're in a loop. The truth is, you didn't fall in love with him. You fell in love with a fantasy, with the version of him that showed up sometimes, the breadcrumbs, the one sweet thing he said when you were crying, that time he really listened for once, the way he looked at you that night. And you took those moments, put them on a vision board, and photoshopped the rest. Because you didn't want him to be perfect. You just wanted him to be consistent, but consistency never showed up. Just the same cycle in different outfits. Hope started sounding like evidence. He remembered my favorite snack, see, he does care. Okay, but he also disappeared for 3 days after that, so let's not crown him king just yet. Damn, okay. You didn't imagine the good parts, but you did imagine they meant more than they did. Because sometimes hope makes you a really convincing storyteller, and when you're an empath, you don't just see the best in someone, you start editing the whole narrative to protect it. But the truth is, you're not crazy for wanting the movie moment. You're human. You just have to remember a few good scenes don't make a good story. And one moment of potential doesn't cancel out a pattern of harm. So what does it actually mean to see the good in someone without abandoning the good in yourself? Well, here's the thing. No one tells you about being the understanding one. You can see the good in someone and still walk away. You can believe they mean well and still admit they're not well for you. That's not being cold, that's being honest. But when you're an empath, that honesty hurts, because choosing reality over potential hurts like hell. It means accepting that the story you wrote in your head doesn't have a happy ending, that maybe they're not on their way to becoming better. Maybe this is it. Maybe the version you're waiting for was never coming. And that hope you've been clinging to like a lifeboat, it's been sinking you. I mean, he's trying, right? He probably just has a lot going on. Right, and I have a lot going on too, like self-respect. But he's not a bad person. No, he's just not my person. Damn, that was kind of deep. Yeah, it's called growth. Hurts like hell, 10/10 recommend. You can acknowledge someone's pain without making it your responsibility to fix it. You can understand their past without becoming collateral damage in their present. Seeing the good in someone isn't the same as sacrificing the good in you. It means holding both truths. They have potential, and they're not showing up for you. Keep your compassion, just don't weaponize it against yourself. Because real connection isn't built on hope alone. It's built on reality, on effort, on reciprocity. You can see the good in him, just don't go blind to the parts that keep breaking you. The truth is, you can love someone deeply and still choose yourself. Because the real good, the kind that actually matters, shows up in how someone treats you, not just in what you see buried under their trauma. There's a difference between empathy and enabling, forgiveness and forgetfulness, loyalty and self-abandonment. So yes, you see the good in them, but not at the cost of the good in you. Because you deserve to be in relationships where goodness isn't potential, it's proof. You're not weak for seeing the good in him. You're not naive for holding on to hope. But hope without reality will leave you starving. And loving someone's potential will have you clinging to a future that was never promised. You can love who he was at his best, without forgetting who he is most of the time. You can remember the good and still admit that the bad is what kept repeating. And no, you're not cold, or heartless, or selfish. You're just someone who finally realized, if love requires you to abandon yourself, it's not love. So no, you didn't give up on him, you just stopped abandoning you. And that is not failure, that's clarity, that's healing, that's love, the real kind, starting with you. They say you walked away too soon. They'll ask why you couldn't just wait for him to grow. But they weren't the ones going to bed with a gut full of doubt and a heart running on crumbs. You were. So if seeing the good in him made you stay, maybe seeing the truth will finally let you go. And hey, if you made it this far, you clearly see the good in someone. Might as well be me. So go ahead and subscribe, because seeing the good in this channel, finally a good call. Subscriptions are my love language. I'll see you in the next one.